Okay, so good morning to everyone. Basically, this class is the cryptography class, and you know that Arijit sir is also taking this cryptography class. So me and Arijit sir will share this, will sharing the cryptography class. Some classes he will take, and I will take some classes. So among them, we will distribute. So basically, you have started for cryptography. In cryptography, you have started that what is cryptography, then about the thing about the cryptanalysis, that cryptography is analysis, and the attacks part you have known. So I will start from the second module, that is the basics, the thing that is basically used. We will start from there. So let's start in this cryptography part. So the first module has been started by the Arijit sir. So I will start from the security part. That what is the security in the cryptography? Now, in this cryptography, we have one is public key encryption and another is the private key encryption. These are the two types: public key and private key encryption. So public key cryptography is what? Public key cryptography is also known as the asymmetric key cryptography. Now, what is asymmetric means? Asymmetric means the two keys. Now, one key after a text that is encrypted, and then after the encryption, the text becomes the cipher text. The plain text becomes the cipher text. And this cipher text will go, and this cipher text will be decrypted, and we get the original message again. So, if for encryption and decryption, for both, the different key is used, that means a key that is used to encrypt the message and the key that is used for decryption of the message, both are different. Means key used for becoming plain text to cipher text and the key used for cipher text to plain text, both are different. Then we called it as the asymmetric key cryptography. That means public key cryptography is also known as the asymmetric key cryptography to distinguish it from the symmetric key cryptography. That is what you see, that we have two different for encryption and decryption are carried out using two different keys, are carried out using two different keys. That means for encryption, a key is used, and for decryption, another key is used. But both these keys are different. Now, the two keys in such a key pair are referred to as the public key, are referred to as the public key and the private key. Now, with the public key cryptography, all parties interested in secure communication publish their public keys. Now, let's say two persons they are communicating. Now, why this cryptography concept is came? Now, if we want to send some message, let's say you and your friend are communicating. Now, you securely transfer any information. You securely transfer any information to your friend because this the channel through which your information will go, the channel is unsecure. The channel is basically unsecure. So that means there may be another person exist, or maybe another malicious user exist who will interrupt your message. That means they will know that what message you are sending to your friend. And now if any secure private information you are sharing, then if that person between you and your friend, they started to intercept that message, that means all the message will visible to him, because he or she is a malicious user who is intercepting your message. So that means your message has to be sent in a secure format. So cryptography is used. Cryptography is that technique so that it ensures that you and your friend are securely communicating over this unsecured channel, and no other malicious user can intercept the message between you and your friend which you are sending. That message cannot be intercepted. That is, this ensures cryptography ensures that. Now there are techniques that is used public key encryption. That in this public key encryption, we uses the asymmetric key cryptography. That means when, let's say, you are sending a message, so when you will send a message that is about the format as a plain text, that means normal original message, the text. Then after that, using a key, you will encrypt that message. You will encrypt this original message and made it as the cipher text. Now, this will go over the unsecured channel. So the malicious user, it will not able to intercept this message which is going over this unsecured channel. And when this message will go to the side of the in your friend's side or in the receiver side, then a key is used, this cipher text to become this cipher text. He or she, your friend, will receive the original message which you want to send. Now, for this encryption and decryption, the different keys used for the public key encryption. And what this is called? This is called the public key and private key combination, key pair. Okay. So now, with this public key cryptography, all parties are interested in secure communication. So all parties wanted that you and your friend both want to communicate. Then what are you ensuring that the your communication should be secure and no other person can interrupt or intercept your message. So that's why they will publish their public keys. Now for sending, we see the confidentiality and the authenticity. Both we can see. Now first we will discuss about the confidentiality. Now let's say party A and party B, both between them the communication is going on. Now party A, if want to communicate confidentially with party B, then what it will do? Let's say A and B both are communicating. Then what, for confidentiality purpose, A has a public key and B is also has the public key. So they will both publish their public keys. They will both publish their public keys. And A will do what? Now A is the sender. So let's say A is the sender and B is the receiver. So it will do what? A want to send some message to B. Then A will do what? A will encrypt that message. A will encrypt that message using B's public key. Now both A and B does what? It publishes their own public key. So A will do what? A will do that, it will encrypt the message using B's public key. And after that, why using B's public key? Because if it encrypts using B's public key, that means that message can only be decrypted using B's private key, because public key and private key are paired. So that's why if sender wants to send the message to receiver, then sender will do what? It, because sender has public key, receiver has also public key, so they will both publish their public keys. So sender will do what? It will encrypt the message using receiver's public key. Because why? Because if it encrypt the message using receiver's public key, then that message will only be decrypted by receiver's private key. So that's why for confidentiality purpose, like that the communication goes. So for confidentiality means what? That we want to protect a message. we want to protect a message from the eavesdropper. Now, eavesdropper means what? The malicious user who wants to intercept or the message which you are sending. So that's why the confidentiality can be achieved like this. In public key encryption, the confidentiality can be achieved like that. That's why you see that party A has A's private key, that is PRA, and A's public key is PUA. Same as that B's private key is what? B's private key is PRB and B's public key is PUB. So both publish A's public key and B's public key, both publish their own public keys. Now A is wanting to send a message. So it will do what? It will encrypt with the B's public key so that the message will go to the B, and that message will only be decipherable, means decrypted. It can be decrypted only using B's private key. So that's how the confidentiality can be achieved. That's like that we can achieve the confidentiality. Okay, so this is the first part of the confidentiality, for achieving confidentiality. And second is what? With confidentiality, we also want to achieve the authentication. Now, authentication means that now receiver gets the message, but how receiver will know that that is sent from the sender? Who is the sender? And that sender is basically him or not? That is the authentication. So it will do what? For authentication part, let's say for between party and party B, the authentication should be done. So then authentication purpose, party A is wanting to send authenticate message to party B. That means party B wants to know that he or she is party A or not. He or she is party A or not. So for that reason, what it will do? B would encrypt the message using A's own private key. In that case, we have seen both publish their public keys and the respective using the private key decrypt the message. But in authentication purpose, let's say party A is wanting to send authenticate message to party B. That means he wants to tell that yes, I am A, I am A. I no other person is A. I am only A. So it will do what? It will send, B would encrypt the message. B will do what? It will encrypt the message with A's own private key. Authentication means that the recipient needs guarantee as the identity of the sender. Now, it will do what? It will use private key. B would encrypt the message using A's own private key. So it will what? That only be decipherable with A's public key because it is done with A's private key. That means it can encrypt the message. This encryption of the message is done by A's own private key. So that means this can be decipherable with A's public key only. No other key should be able to decrypt that message. That would establish the authenticity of the message, meaning that the A was indeed the source of the message. Now let's see, if we see the diagram, you see that both will same thing, both will publish their public keys, and after publishing their public keys, what A will do? A will encrypt the message using private key. A will encrypt the message using public key. Sorry, using private key. It will encrypt the message using private key, and it will send. Now, this message is what? It is encrypted using private key of A. That means it will be decrypted using public key of A only. No other key can be used. So that's why you see we decrypt the message using public key of A, and receiver will receive. Okay, that means A is the authenticate user. A is the authentication, or we say authenticate user. So that's how confidentiality and authentication should be achieved. Now, some cases, sometimes there is, we need authentication and confidentiality both at the same time. both at the same time, we need the authentication and confidentiality. In that case, how it can be performed? Now, let's say party B and party A. Party A and party B both it wants confidentiality and authentication at the same time. So it will do what? A is private key here and A is public key. So public keys will be published. Public keys will be published. So party A and party B both will publish their public keys. After that, for we know for authentication that yes, indeed, I am the party A. In that reason, what A will encrypt the message using private key of its own private key. A will encrypt that message, and for confidentiality, it will encrypt the message. It will encrypt the message using B's public key. You see, this is for the confidentiality purpose, and this is for the authentication purpose. And the message will go on through over the unsecured channel. The message will go, and after going, the message is gone with the unsecured channel. Then it will do what? For confidentiality purpose, we know confidentiality purpose, what it will be do using B's private key. Using B's private key, the message will be decrypted. Using B's private key, the message will be decrypted. And for authentication purpose, using public key of A, the message will be again decrypted. So that is why in same time, if we needed authentication and confidentiality at the same time, like this, it will be done. So from here, we can say that the process that you see, the process steps undertaken by A to convert into its encrypted from that you see PUB and then encrypted of PRA and M. Now E stands for the encryption. So and decryption, then two times it will be decrypt like this. That what I have said. First, it will decrypt using the private key of B for our confidentiality purpose, and then for authentication purpose, it will do what? It will decrypt using the public key of A. This is for the confidentiality. This is for the authentication. Now that means what? That means with time 4 times that the sender A encrypting his own message with its own private key. That is the authentication. And this step can be said as putting his or her digital signature on the message. That is putting a digital signature. Yes, I am the A. So that is the authentication. That yes, I am indeed A. So putting that authentication is the, we can say as the digital signature. So now, for cost of achieving confidentiality and authentication at the same time is that now the message can be processed 4 times, because this message is what you can see 4 times the message is processed. 4 times, because first it is encrypt, then again encrypt. After that, it will go using decrypt and decrypt. So 4 times in all for encryption and decryption. So this is the public key encryption process. First, for achieving the confidentiality, then authentication, and if it is needed, both authentication and confidentiality at the same time, then we do like this. Okay, it is clear. It is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is the one type of public key encryption. Now we will see RSA algorithm. Now this RSA algorithm follows the public key cryptography. This RSA algorithm follows the public key cryptography. Now RSA stands for, this is the 3 scientists and they invented this algorithm. So what are the RSA full form? Ron Rivest, Adi Shamir, Leonardo Edelman. So I have only written Rivest, Shamir, Edelman, but the total name is Ron Rivest, Adi Shamir, Leonardo Edelman. These three scientists make this RSA algorithm, and this follows this public key cryptographic approach. Now, it is what? It is based on the property of the positive integers. Now, first you see there is a customer, so it will send as the plain text. Now, for encryption in RSA, this formula is used. C equal to P k to the power P modulo N. This is used for the encryption purpose. This is C equal to P k to the power P modulo N, and where Kp and N we find. This formula is used for the encryption, and the message will then, after doing the message, the encryption, the message will be that it will convert from plain text to the cipher text. It will convert into here from plain text to cipher text, and after that the cipher text will go, and this cipher text we do what? This cipher text will again we decrypt that cipher text to get that original plain text again. Now, for decryption, which formula is used for decryption? For decryption, P equal to C k to the power S modulo N, where K, S, and N we find. And after this, it will be converted into the plain text again. And we get our original message. Now, how? This is the mathematical way we done the RSA algorithm. So first, P is what? P be the set of all prime numbers. P is the set of all prime numbers. And then pick P and Q. We pick P and Q such that P and Q are the sufficiently large. So P is set of all prime numbers, and we pick P and Q, and this P and Q belongs to this capital P set, and this P and Q are sufficiently large. That is a large number, and then we compute P into K. That means there's two numbers we used. These two numbers we compute P into Q, and we get the result. We get the result as capital N. Then we select KP. Then we select the KP such that this KP, P minus 1, and Q minus 1 are relatively prime, meaning they cannot share any common factors. Relatively prime means they cannot share any common prime factors. And 2 to the power Kp greater than equal to capital N. Now capital N is what? The computing result. When we product of that P into Q, product of the P into Q which we get, that is the capital N. And this 2 to the power Kp will be what? This 2 to the power Kp will be greater than N. This 2 to the power Kp will be greater than N. Now, we choose, that is for Kp, for finding this Kp, and N we already find. Then it will convert it into the cipher text. For this plain text to convert into the cipher text, this formula is used. Then for decryption purpose, what we will do for decryption purpose? For decryption purpose, we will choose KS such that Kp into Ks modulo P minus 1 into Q minus 1, that will be equal to 1, like that. So first, through an example, if we see it, let P and Q we take. So P and Q, that means P, let's say P has the value 3 and Q has the value 11. Like these two numbers, P has the value 3 and Q has the value 11. So first thing, what we have to do? The first thing we have to do, we have to compute N. That means we have to find the product between P and Q. So we find the product between P and Q, and it is 33. Next, we have to find the Kp. We have to find the Kp. So Kp is what? It is a tautant equation. Kp is basically the tautant equation. So we find compute the tautant Kp, compute tautant Kp, that is equal to phi n. So we have to find that, we have to see that we have to find the between them Kp, p minus 1 and q minus 1. Between them we have to find. So that's why we'll compute what? Compute phi n equal to p minus 1 into q minus 1. So we have to find like that. If we see the steps, then you see first we have to done p into q, then we have to find p minus 1, q minus 1 and kp. And this kp value will be like that, that it will be relatively prime. So that means we have to find tautant equation with p minus 1 into q minus 1. So p minus 1 into q minus 1 we find. So that means it will be 2 into 10. The value will be get 20. Now we have to choose the kp. Now which range it will, this value kp will stands in which range? Now 1 less than kp less than equal to phi n. So phi n value we get 20. So that the kp will such a value, kp will be such a value that will be lie in the range of 1 to 20. And that should be that kp and n should be the relatively prime. That means they cannot share any common factors. So we choose kp as what? Kp, let's say kp as a 7, because if we choose 7, then it will be relatively prime. Now, then what we have to perform? We have to compute the ks value. So ks value we have to compute. Now ks is what? You see, ks, choose ks, kp into ks modulo p minus 1 into q minus 1, and it will be, the result of it will be 1. So that means we know, now we know that kp value. So we will put the kp value here. So kp is what? Kp is here 7. We have find that kp relatively prime number, it will be 7. So 7 into ks modulo phi n. Phi n value we get, that is 20. So 7 into ks modulo 20. And the value should be 1. So which, after this, if we perform this solution we get, because kp is 7 into 3. So 7, if we put 3 value here only, then it will become 21. So 21 modulo 20. That means we get 1. So that's why k's value should be 3. So if we put 3 here, then only this will be satisfied. So that's why we put the ks value and we get that value ks as 3. So that means public key and private key we get. Public key is the combination of kp comma n. So that means our public key will be 7 comma 33. And the private key is what? Private key is combination of ks comma n. This is the combination. So that means it is, we get that ks value as 3. So 3 comma 33. So let's say we have to encryption, and our message is 2. Let's say we have to encrypt a message, and this message is what? Only we say here that through RSA algorithm, what we do through RSA algorithm, you see, using this RSA is based on the property of the positive integers. So that means integer number we have to choose. Integer number we have to choose. So that's why we have choose that the encryption of, let's say the message is 2. We want to send 2. Then what will be after encryption? After performing encryption, what this 2 will be converted? Now that means this formula should be used. P k to the power p modulo n. So what is the value of p? The value of p is, we know that the value of p is our 2. The value we are sending, p, that is the p, because p is means what? Plain text. P means what? It is plain text. So that means here the value, the plain text value, that is 2. So 2 to the power kp. Kp, what we find? The kp is 7. So 2 to the power 7 modulo n. So modulo n means n value we get, n value which we get, that n value we get is the computing n, it is 33. So modulo capital N. So it is 33. So 2 to the power 7 modulo 33. If we perform, then we will get 29 as it. So after doing encryption of this 2, the ciphertext become 29. And if we decipher it, that means this 29, if we decipher this 29, we will get the 2 again. How? We will use this formula now. We will use this C k to the power s modulo n. So that means C value is what? The ciphertext which is converted. That means it is 29. And Ks is what? Ks we get, that is 3. So 29 to the power 3 modulo capital N. So capital N, what we get? The capital N we get is the 33. So that means 29 to the power 3 modulo 33. So if we do, then again we get the original message 2. So that's how the RSA algorithm works. This is the steps. This step should be followed to achieve our thing, to achieve this. Okay. So it is clear. It is clear to everyone. Okay. So that's how the RSA algorithm works. So always for RSA algorithm, these steps remember, this step should be remembered. Okay. So first the steps is find the P and Q. So P and Q, you will be given P and Q values. Then you will do what? You will compute that, and also doing the Toyton equation, that is phi n equal to P minus 1 into Q minus 1. Find the value. Now choose KP. KP and N, it is the public key combination, and for private key combination, KS and N. So find the public key combinations KP first. To KP, how you find? 1 less than equal to KP less than phi n. Now you have to choose KP such that it lies in the range between 1 and phi n. The phi n which you got into P minus 1 into Q1, Q minus 1 after doing this product. And after that, what you will do? You will find the K's value, and after K's value, you will doing your public key combination and private key combination is set. Then you will do what? The message you will use using the formula. This formula you should use for encryption, and for decryption, you will use the formula C k to the power s modulo n. So like this, the RSA algorithm for public key encryption should be done. So there is another example, it is also given. Now this example is what? This example is using the large number. The process is same process. Find KP, then KS, then make the combination of public key and then private key. And after that, the formula should be used for the encryption and decryption. So same thing, same way this example is given to our find for large numbers, for finding the large numbers. Now, using this public key for exchange of this secret session keys. Now we have seen the discussion of this RSA. We can say that it is not suitable for actual message content. Now, because RSA or any public key cryptography leads to a superior protocol, for managing the distributed secret session keys. Now the session keys can subsequently used for the encryption of the actual message content using the symmetric key algorithm like AES, then 3DES, then RC4, etc. However, use of the secret session key depends on the application context for the secure communication. Now, if a party A simply wants to receive all communication confidentiality, meaning that A does not want anyone to snoop on the incoming message traffic, and A is not worried about the authenticity of the message received, then A will publish what in some publicly accessible place. Anyone wanting to send confidential message to A would encrypt the message with A's public key. Now, if it is done by the A's public key, then the message will only be decipherable by A's private key. That is what? That is the authenticity. That is the authentication. Now, a simple direct key exchange protocol is used for that. For considering each of the two parties, A and B, has full confidence that the message received from other parties indeed authentication. Now, before sending the message, A and B has full confidence that that message is received, that is authenticate. Then A wishing to communicate with B. Let's say in this case, A wishing to communicate with B. Then it will generate what? Public key, private key pair. Now A has, let's say, PUA and PRA. PUA is the public key and PRA is the private key. That is of A. Then A will do what? It transmit this unencrypted message to B, but A will not send its private key when it will send, when it will transmit, it will not send the private key. Only the unencrypted message will consist public key and is identifier. Let's say the identifier is IDA. The message consists of PUA and IDA, but this will not send private key, only public key and the identifier. Now, what is this identifier? Let's say this identifier can be the is IP address. This identifier can be the is IP address. Now, upon receiving the message from A, B generates and store a secret session key. B generates and store a secret session key, that name is KS. So it will send the unencrypted message consist of PUA, that means public key of A, and IDA, identification A, that means A's IP address. Now this unencrypted message is received by the receiver. So when it received by the receiver, it will do what? It will generate a session key called KS. Let's say the session key will generate, that is KS. Now B will respond A with what? This secret session key. And it will encrypt the message. Now this will encrypt what? Using the public key and the secret session key. Both encrypted will be done by the B. Now, how this encryption will be done? This encryption will be done using public key of A, because A already sent the public key, and we know that confidentiality case, the message is done what? Using public key of that